Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and CIVIVI is releasing a few new knives this month, and I got my hands on 3 of them, this one, and this little tiny guy here, and I'm going to make different videos about them so you can look up their names later in the future if you're interested. So let's start out. This beauty is the CIVIVI Tranquil. It's got, well actually there are 4 different versions of this. And CIVIVI asked if there were any knives I wanted to try out for, their new release, and this is one that I chose. And I've really kind of developed a like for the CIVIVI Damascus. I did a video about this one, this carbon fiber and Damascus beauty here before, but what I liked about this was the size, and it was kind of reminiscent of my Benchmade Claymore here. If you look at the way, not quite the blade profile, but close. But what caught me was how the handle narrows. And I actually like that. It's kind of a smaller handle than a lot of knives that are of this size. However, this is a sub 4-ounce folding knife for something this long. The actual overall length is 8.7 inches, or over 221 millimeters. And the blade length is 3.7 inches. So that's getting near the maximum that a lot of jurisdictions allow. It's got to be under 4 inches. Some of them it's under, 2 or under 3. But also the blade thickness on this is either 0.12 inches or 3 millimeters. And the pivot is a ceramic caged ball bearing like the others, so it is just silky smooth, lightning fast. Now the Micarta here is kind of a non-polished, kind of a rougher Micarta. I like it because this is where Micarta is headed on its own. I kind of liked it with this CIVIVI here. I did a video on earlier, and you can see how they've sort of tapered this, kind of rounded the edges or beveled the edges of the micarta. A lot of companies don't do that, just slap the micarta scale on and let it roll. But what I like about this then with that rounded is it tends to kind of age, gives it a good solid feel of kind of not only maybe a historical material, but a texture, something you can hang on to even when wet. It doesn't get super slippery. It doesn't quite have the same, crazy high-end properties of like G10 because it's an older design, older material. It's basically like a laminate of different things. It could be paper. I think this one is fabric, sort of like with epoxy resins, and then they're pressed, and when they finally dry, it's an incredibly strong weave. It's similar, what I would think of as an old school carbon fiber. It's like carbon fiber in its construction in a lot of ways, but it's using older materials. No problem with it whatsoever. A lot of this is stainless steel, the hardware, etc., including the clip, and that's important on a knife this size. I often bend these things. In fact, I routinely bend the Benchmade ones. They don't have quite as much spring, so then I have to pull out these 2 bolts here and then press this to give it a little bit of a bend in, and then that way when I screw it back down I've got some spring to it. But anyway, this thing overall is a great design, big flat grind, gorgeous Damascus with a hardness of about 58 to 60 on the Rockwell hardness scale. It has thumb studs, although the flipper handle here, you notice it's quite a bit above the pivot as well. We got into that in another video. Just launches that big blade really smoothly, quickly. Liner lock mechanism, gotten so used to those. It's a good solid lockup, simple design, keeps the price down. Price is around $100 plus or minus for this Damascus Damascus Micarta one. And there you can save a little money if you go with one of the other blade steel options or G10 handle options. But anyway, there it is, the Tranquil by CIVIVI. Getting into some big knives, beautiful, great feel in the hand, razor sharp. And with that, Doc out.